Before the video starts, check out the official Discord with the links in the description down below or on the screen right here for mobile users. We are a fast growing community, and if you want to join and speak to new people about the anime that we all love, or speak to me personally and get custom perks, check out the Major Dragon Discord and join our growing community within the Dragon Force. Now let's get on with the video. Eating is a big and hilarious part of Dragon Ball, with one of the biggest appetites being Goku himself. Akira Toriyama actually got this idea from Jackie Chan. In one of his movies, you can see a scene where he scarfs down food, just like how Goku did. And that's actually where he got the idea for Goku to eat a lot. But what if we change this up? What if whatever Goku eats does make him stronger? But now, of course, we're going to have to work around this. If in reality, you can really gauge on how strong the food could make him. Is it a big increase in power, or is it a small increase? To be honest, by the time he would be 12 years old at the start of Dragon Ball, he could be as strong as Zeno, considering that he eats fish multiple times a day that is the size of a truck. That is 1,000 pounds. So realistically, we're going to have to gauge this out. Depending on if he's injured, eating food will make him stronger, and as well, the quality of the food will also increase the boost that he gets. Small things such as some food here and there will only increase his power slightly. The highest quality food with the most nourishment will increase his power even more. Because we are going to have to gauge this correctly, because he would just become the most powerful character literally ever in the entire show if he eats that much food. But I do have an interesting way. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's get this video to 400 likes. If it gets to 400 likes, I shall go on to part 2. Thank you all so much, and let's get right into the video. Bardock would still sacrifice his life against the mighty Lord Frieza, who destroyed all the Saiyans, and Planet Vegeta along with it. Bardock sacrificed himself to keep Frieza distracted so his son Kakarot can escape to planet Earth. Now Goku would still arrive just like the original, meeting Grandpa Gohan, and Goku here would still fall and hit his head. But one difference here is whenever Goku would eat food, his power would slightly grow stronger, and Grandpa Gohan can tell. But doesn't really take that much notice until when Goku's a little bit older. Goku would sadly still turn into a great ape, and he would still kill Grandpa Gohan. He would have no memory of what happened, so he just figured Grandpa Gohan was killed by some big monster. Now, how strong would Goku be by the time that he meets Bulma? Well, we can really gauge this on, are we going to make him really OP or not OP? Well, Goku's mainly been eating off of wildlife and fish, so it's not the best quality meals, but it's still good. And Goku hasn't been severely injured. He's just been more or less surviving. Well, we're going to say that Goku had a power level of 10 originally. His power level is going to be at around 50, which already makes him very powerful. This already makes him a little bit stronger than when he met Master Roshi and alongside with Krillin to begin his training. Well, when Goku goes to help out Bulma, he does agree to come along with her for the search of the Dragon Balls. They would still help the turtle and give him seawater. They would then meet Master Roshi. Master Roshi would still be interested in Goku even more, because he notes on how strong the boy was for his age. It was incredible. Goku's 5 times stronger than the original. He has a power level of 50. So Goku is much stronger. Master Roshi does notice this. But Master Roshi would still give him the 3-star Dragon Ball and the Flying Nimbus as rewards for bringing him his turtle back and giving them water. Now Goku would have still easily defeated the reign of the terrible Oolong. And mind you as well, the thing with terrible Oolong, the old woman would still give Bulma the 6-star Dragon Ball, so that would go the same. Now Goku originally was very sick and tired because he was starving. When a Saiyan gets really hungry, their power level drops, and Goku was not at full strength. But I do believe that when Yamcha does attack Goku, Goku is able to hold his own a bit better against Yamcha, and he was actually able to hold him off. But it was a pretty close battle. Now Master Roshi would still use the Kamehameha wave to put out the flames on the Frying Pan Mountain. Now, although he does destroy the mountain, along with the castle as well, using a bit too much energy, among the debris, they would find the 7-star Dragon Ball. Now, Goku would still defeat the Boss Rabbit Gang, and Mind Shu would still sneak the Dragon Balls away from Goku and sneak it off. Now, they originally trapped them inside of Pilaf's castle. Goku could be strong enough to where he could be able to escape, but let's just say that Goku would still turn into a great ape here because he still sees the moon. Either way, Oolong would still make the wish for the girl's underwear, and the wish is now gone. And then, of course, afterwards, Goku and Krillin would then become Master Roshi's students after finding Launch. Now, Roshi would still move his house to a larger island, and most of the events would go the same past this point. Now, Goku now being stronger, by the time that he meets Roshi and Krillin, his power level will jump up to at least 80, because he's been eating so much food the past few days, and he also was injured from his fight with Yamcha, because they were pretty much evenly matched. Goku would have gotten stronger because he ate, which recovered his food. Well, Goku and Krillin would begin their tough training under Master Roshi. For the next 7 months, they would begin their training. And then now, they would then all participate in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, how strong is Goku, Krillin, and Roshi? Well, Roshi's power level was going to be roughly the same. His power level was around 150, and when he goes full power, it can go up to 180 when he blows up the moon. Krillin's power level was roughly around 120 or so, or a little bit less if you even want to call it that, but Krillin was pretty powerful. He was able to hold off Roshi pretty well. Now, Goku did get stronger as well. Goku's power level will be roughly the same, be around 140 to 150. That's the original Goku. Since this Goku has gotten the training and he's eating a lot of food, getting stronger, his power level will be higher. We're going to put his power level up to 220, which is a pretty big jump in terms of Dragon Ball scaling, as Goku would overwhelm Master Roshi, and even though Master Roshi would still have to destroy the moon to defeat Goku, as remember Goku's tail was the issue, Goku would have knocked out Master Roshi. Goku was too strong and he would have won. Now, this is when the Red Ribbon Army would begin their search for the Dragon Balls, and before we jump into that, if you guys remember the famous scene where Goku ate over 50 full course meals. Over 50 plus. And he was also pretty badly wounded after fighting Roshi, so Goku would get a big buff in power. Spending all the funds that he earned from the World Tournament, he got a big buff in power. We're going to say here that his power level went up to 250 from around 220. So that is a big jump from 250 to 260. That is a pretty big jump if you consider the fact that Demon King Piccolo's in that range of power, and he was potentially the most powerful character other than Goku and reincarnated Piccolo Jr. Goku would absolutely annihilate the Red Ribbon Army, as the Red Ribbon Army cannot match Goku's power. He has the strength of Demon King Piccolo, who was regarded to have strength that rivals that of a nuclear blast, which means that each punch is that of a nuclear bomb going off. So it goes to show you just how powerful and how dangerous Demon King Piccolo was. Well, most of the Red Ribbon Army would practically be destroyed. This also would mean, would Dr. Gero still be alive? I'm going to say yes, Dr. Gero is still alive, because Goku, again, even though he still has the power, he's not absolutely annihilating everything, but they have been stopped. But now, of course, this is when Goku would have also confronted General Blue, absolutely annihilated him in their fight in Penguin Village. Mercenary Tao would have been defeated by Goku easily. Goku would have then gone up to Korn's Tower to begin his training. This is after he defeats the Red Ribbon Army. He beats them early because of how much stronger he is. But now, of course, he would begin his training for the Sacred Water. This time around, though, Goku would actually take the real water, and he would only grow stronger from this. His power level getting a little jump in size, he went from roughly around 180 to around 260. Getting that buff in power is really impressive. He got around 1.4 times stronger. So, if that's the case, his new power level will be around 365, which is really OP, considering that now he's practically one of the strongest characters. Well, Goku would absolutely annihilate the Red Ribbon Army in their path. They would have been defeated. Well, Goku would then spend the next 3 years to continue his training. Goku would then swim to Papa Island, where the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament would take place. Now, mind you, Goku, this has been 3 years later. He's continuing to eat that food, continuing to get stronger. Goku's going to get a big buff in power here. His power level was originally around 365. His new power level will be around 600, which doesn't seem like a too far away fetch because of how much he's eating over the past 3 years. It's ridiculous. Goku is OP. He's very, very, very strong. He's pretty much the strongest Dragon Ball character. Goku here would absolutely annihilate Tien Shenhan. Absolutely annihilate him. He has no chance. Now, Krillin would still be killed by Tambourine, and Demon King Piccolo does arrive. Goku would still meet Yajirobe, and he would easily one-shot Tambourine. Now, he would cross paths with Demon King Piccolo, but he would easily defeat the Demon King, punching right through him. He would still spit out an egg, thus having Piccolo Jr., so Kami still lives. This also means that Master Roshi and Chaozu were not killed by Demon King Piccolo, who then used the Dragon Balls to restore his youth. And then originally he then took over King's Castle, took over Earth, and Goku originally then drank the water at this point. But now, of course, since that Demon King Piccolo was now defeated, Goku would then spend the next 3 years to begin his training under Kami. Now, Goku did get a pretty big buff in power, on top of the fact that he's eating very good quality food because of Mr. Popo. Not to mention there's also sensu beans as well, but there's not that many of them since technically Yajirobe did eat them all. Goku does get a big buff in power. Goku's power level here, I'm going to say under Kami's training, Popo helping him out, his power level doubled, making him 1,200, which means he is as strong as Raditz. Now, when Goku does go down for the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, he would still meet Chi-Chi. And yes, he would still get with Chi-Chi because it's the same Goku. He's just stronger. So yes, he still gets with Chi-Chi, and he would still fight Piccolo Jr. Now, Piccolo Jr. does have more motivation because he knows how strong Goku is, how much of a freak of nature he is. Even if his power level, which was originally around 306 to 316, even if that was the case, and his new power level, you could say, is 400, it would have no match against Goku. Goku would toss him around the ring, Piccolo would try out all of his techniques, it wouldn't work, Goku would knock him out, defeating him. He would then spare Piccolo, thus leaving Kami alive, and Piccolo would then fly off to continue training to where one day he would then take over the world. Since that was now done, it would be 5 years apiece. Now, Goku himself stated that he didn't really do that much crazy training. He didn't really get that much stronger training-wise. But he's still eating a lot of food, and Chi-Chi does make great food. So yes, Goku is still getting stronger. Because true, he's not training as intensely with motivation, because he's kind of relaxing for the 5 years. But he's still eating incredible food, so his power level is still increasing rapidly. When Raditz still shows up, Goku still brought Gohan to Master Roshi's island and to meet everybody there. Raditz would have still showed up, he would have told Goku everything about the Saiyans and more. Goku did have his tail removed as well because Kami saw that as a threat because of the Great Ape. And he especially did it because he knows how strong Goku is, and he knows that the Great Ape's power increases by 10 times. So he knows that Earth would be in ruin if Goku does become a Great Ape again, so his tail is removed. Raditz finds offense to that, and with a few other things, Goku of course rejects him. He's not interested in joining his whole parade. Raditz would be furious as he would then try to knee Goku to take Gohan. But this time around, Goku would then stop him, and he would then knock Raditz away. Raditz was shocked to see that Goku was able to do this, as Goku is much stronger than his original self. Goku would then fly towards Raditz, and then they would have a fight. Raditz would then tap his scouter to see Goku's power level, and he was shocked to see that it was 1,200. It was the same as his. But Raditz would then go full power and jump up to 1,005. And he knows that he can be, his brother, but it'll be a pretty tough battle, but he knows he can do it. He is stronger than him. Goku would then begin to power up. As Raditz is yelling this out loud, Vegeta and Nappa are listening in. Goku's power level goes to 1,200, 1,400, 1,800, 2,000, 2,500, 2,600, 3,000, 4,000, and then it stopped. Goku's power level is at 4,000. And it makes sense because he's been eating for 5 years and still training lightly. And Piccolo and everyone else was shocked to see how much stronger Goku has actually become. He's almost gotten 4 times stronger, which is not crazy with the fact that 5 years of eating. Now, Raditz was shocked about this and he was furious. Now, he would still try to fight Goku, thinking that his scouter is broken, but Goku would easily outclass him. Raditz knows that he has no choice, and Goku would tell him to get off his planet and get out of here. Raditz would do so, flying back to Vegeta and Nappa, as he does have a pretty good reason as to why he had to fly away. Vegeta would take offense to this, unfortunately, since he did still promise Raditz that he would kill him if he comes back. He would have killed Raditz, or Nappa would have as well, and Raditz would have been killed. Vegeta is interested, so he does want to head to Earth and see what this is all about. After getting some info, he finds out that Earth is also a very rich planet as well. It would do very well to sell. So they then begin heading their way. Now, Kami is worried because he does know, since Raditz did warn about the Saiyans, he does warn Goku about it. Well, Goku here does have 2 options. Kami does tell Goku that there is a master who can teach him on another land. That's exactly where he would go. Gohan would still be trained by Piccolo, and Goku would be able to make it down Snake Way much faster than the original because he's many times stronger. He's tens of times stronger. So he would be able to get there within a month or two's time, or even less if you want to count how fast he is. He might even get there within a week or two. And yes, he would have still gotten the fruit from hell because, of course, he got really hungry. But now, of course, we would then have Goku begin his training under King Kai. Goku got around 18.8 times stronger, and yes, he did eat under King Kai a lot. So, even though he said that the food was pretty terrible as well, but either way, Goku would have still gotten much stronger. Since Goku got 18.8 times stronger, we're going to add in the fact that eating food as well for that period of time does help him. So we're going to say that he got from 18.8, we're going to bump it up to around 20 times. So it's at least 2+ times higher, so Goku is so much stronger. When Goku does show back up, Vegeta and Nappa would still arrive. Goku would then head his way back towards his friends. When he does this, now mind you, Nappa and Vegeta they know how strong Goku is. They heard about it. Vegeta would tell Nappa not to hold back and hurry up and kill them all. So Nappa, would he still plant Cybermen? I think he would. And while the Earthlings are fighting, I still think that Nappa would still attack Piccolo. And would this cause Piccolo to still die? I think yes, because Vegeta's telling Nappa that Kakarot's coming, and he would see that the power level is over 10,000. He would tell him to hurry up and kill them. He would then fire a Death Beam attack right at Gohan. Piccolo would then sacrifice his life, and he would have died. Now, when Goku does arrive, he sees that Piccolo was the only one that actually perished, as Yamcha and the others were not dead yet. Goku was fuming. As all the Cybermen would then try to jump Goku, he would do what Super Saiyan 2 Gohan did, and he would just one-shot them all, chopping them in half or kicking them away. They were shocked to see his power, as then Nappa would then try to fight Goku, but we know how this would work out. Goku would deliver a powerful elbow to his stomach, similar to how he did to Raccoon, and he would have defeated him with one shot, but he is still alive. Vegeta would then walk over to Nappa, who's badly wounded. He would then kill Nappa, and he would then look to Goku. He would then challenge Goku outright, and Goku and Vegeta would then fly someplace else in more of the desert, rocky wasteland, away from animals and people. As the other Z fighters would stay very far away, but they're watching to see Goku handle himself, Tien even tells Krillin that something's different about Goku. He's not the same Goku that we saw. He's different. That training that he must have did made him to a different person. He's an entirely different being. Goku would begin to power up in front of Vegeta. Now, Vegeta did not destroy his scouter. He would begin reading out his power level. It would shoot past 30,000. Now, we don't know how high his scouter can go, since he destroyed it before he could get a full reading. But if it is the top of the line scouters, because Raditz has a low class one, a weaker scouter. If it is the top of the line scouters, such as the one maybe like the Ginyu Force might use, then it could go past 180,000. So Goku's power level would then go all the way up to 80,000. Vegeta would then crush his scouter in anger and shock at how that's possible. Now, Frieza did hear about a being having a power level of 80,000 through Vegeta's scouter, but he is confused by it. They also did speak of the Dragon Balls as well. Remember, they still spoke since Piccolo died, and Goku arrived a few seconds afterwards. They still said, don't worry, the Dragon Balls are gone. And then, of course, Frieza would have heard that, which would give him the reason to start looking for them, since he knows that they are mystical orbs, to then go look on Namek. So Frieza's heading his way there. Well, Goku's fight with Vegeta would be very one-sided. Unfortunately for Vegeta, even though he is very powerful, against the likes of Goku, he has no chance. Vegeta is very desperate though, and he does try using the Gallic Gun. Goku would actually slap the attack away pretty easily. Vegeta notes on how there's nothing he can do, but Kakarot doesn't have a tail. That's perfect. Vegeta would then summon a fake moon. He would then throw the fake moon into the air, and he would then transform into a great ape, having a power level of around 160,000. Vegeta said so himself that using the moon will make him a bit weaker, but again, and he's also injured as well. Well, Goku would then power up using Kaioken. The power level of 80,000, Goku can easily use Kaioken with ease, jumping even maybe up to times 5, even at times 10 in my opinion, he probably can. Goku would then use Kaioken times 3, which is more than enough to basically defeat Vegeta. He would overpower the Great Ape state, and he would have chopped off his tail. Vegeta would then revert back to normal. Now Vegeta is at a loss. Goku would spare his life though and tell him to leave. And that's what Vegeta would do, telling him that you regret sparing me. And he would then fly off. Now that Vegeta and the Saiyans were defeated, peace was restored to Earth. But they have one major problem. Now they have to bring Piccolo and the others back. Because without Piccolo, Kami's gone, which means the Dragon Balls are gone. What if something bad happens? Until a few days later, I would say about a week or so later, Popo would finally arrive and he would explain all about Kami's ship and going to planet Namek. Bulma would then help and she would then find this out, so she would be able to make a spaceship to then head towards planet Namek. Now the one difference here is it was originally Bulma, Gohan, and Krillin. Now, we don't know if it can fit everybody, so I think that it would be Bulma, Krillin, Gohan, and Goku. The other Z fighters are going to have to stay to protect Earth. And this means that there is also no gravity room added since Bulma's father did not have time to make that. But Goku would do more mental training there. Well, Vegeta would still arrive on Namek as he was heading there anyway, and he would begin the search for the Dragon Balls himself so he can wish for immortality to kill Frieza. So Vegeta was on his demon arc during this time, so we'll let him do his thing. Now, of course, Goku is still eating a lot of food, and he is doing a lot of sparring with Krillin and Gohan, very intense training in the decks below. They do have sensu beans, so that's what Goku's utilizing. Since there is no gravity, they're going to have to make do with what they got. One thing that I could see is Kami makes very heavy clothing. As it does make sense Kami can do this, Kami would then form extremely heavy clothing to almost like their limits for them to use. So Goku, Krillin, and Gohan would then begin wearing weighted clothing. That's how they also get a little jump in power. Now, Goku got way stronger at this time because he went from a power level of around 8,000 to around 90,000. He got 11.25 times stronger, but he also trained in 100 times gravity. But he's also eating food as well. But I'm going to say that Goku's power level 80,000. I'm going to say that he at least, in my opinion, he at least got maybe 6 to 7 times stronger. And if that's the case, that puts his power level at 560,000. If somebody like Krillin, who has a power level of roughly around 2,000 or so, that would basically bump his power level up to 14,000. And Gohan has a power level around 1,000, roughly around 1,100. That would bump his power level up to around 7,700. Carry on. Well, they would all still arrive on planet Namek. Now, Gohan would still intercept Doria and hit him. Now, this is when Goku would square off against Frieza. Now, he senses how strong Frieza is. He would then tell Gohan and Krillin to get the young Namekian, aka Dende, away and to their Grand Master. Goku would then distract Frieza. As Zarbon and Doria would try to jump Goku, he would one-shot them, easily defeating them. As Frieza was surprised to see this, he would then try doing Goku's power level by scanning it. Goku would then begin powering up. As his power level shoots past 250,000, it would then shatter his scouter, and he doesn't have any spare ones left over. Now, Goku would begin fighting Frieza in his first form, and Goku was overpowering the Emperor, because he's 30,000 stronger, but he also can use the Kaioken ability if needed. Now, while Dende and Gohan and Krillin have now met Dende with the Grand Elder, this is when Vegeta was watching, and he was in shock with seeing how strong Goku was able to actually keep up with Frieza. Now, Frieza, out of desperation, would begin to transform into his second form, having a power level of 1 million. Now, Goku was shocked to see this as Frieza would begin overpowering Goku pretty easily. Now, this is when Goku knows that he can't continue fighting. He needs to make sure that Gohan, Krillin, and others are okay. He knows that Frieza cannot sense power levels. So, he would then use the Solar Flare, and he would then blind Frieza. All the while, Vegeta used this opportunity to fly off towards Frieza's ship, since there's no competition, pretty much destroy all of his men, destroy the communications, which means that there's no Ginyu Force around, and he would then use this to hide all the Dragon Balls, throwing him out of the ship and far away. Goku would then use the Solar Flare technique, blinding Frieza. He would be able to escape, but Goku was pretty wounded. Luckily, he had one spare Sensu Bean that was on Krillin. He would then arrive to Grand Elder Guru's, and he would get the Sensu Bean, getting a big Zenkai, getting much stronger. The Sensu Beans are also a perfect sustenance. You can survive days and days and days off one Sensu Bean. It's actually insane with how much nutrients that they have. Also, as well, Grand Elder Guru would then unlock Goku's potential on top of that. So, in my opinion, Goku from the Zenkai at least got 2 to 3 times Zenkai, at least. So, Goku's new power level is around 3.3 million. Now, Frieza would then begin heading his way towards his ship once again, and Goku would then intercept Frieza. This is when Goku would then battle Frieza once again, who's still in his second form, and he outclasses Frieza easily. They would then use the Dragon Balls, getting all of them together, and Dende would then use his native tongue to then also wish Piccolo back to life. Now, Frieza would see this as Goku would get in front of him since Frieza's getting overwhelmed. Frieza would then go into his third form to try and attack Goku, but Goku would hold him off still, and the wish would have been done, but by this point, sadly, Elder Guru would have passed. Thus, making Elder Guru pass away, the Dragon Balls turned to stone. As Frieza saw the Dragon Balls turn into stone, he would then yell in pure rage as he would begin to grow in power going into his final form. Goku's fight with Frieza would continue, but Frieza's a bit more irritated, so Goku began to get overwhelmed. Even with Kaioken times 20, it's not enough to hold off Frieza. So Goku would then begin to use the Spirit Bomb technique, and Vegeta would also get a slight Zenkai because he's getting Ki Blast to the chest by Krillin, and Dende would then heal him, so Vegeta would then go to fight Frieza to hold him off. Now this is when also Krillin would then also jump in and try and help, and Goku would then be able to throw the Spirit Bomb right at Frieza. Frieza would nearly be killed by the Spirit Bomb, but he survived. This is also when Piccolo did fuse with Nail as well, and he did arrive to see his friends, and then he would then see Frieza, who doesn't know who this man is, but he would then fire a blast at Piccolo, badly wounding the Namekian. This is when Krillin was also thrown into the air and he was destroyed, thus making Goku furious. Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan of legend. And unfortunately for Frieza, we all know what's going to happen here. Goku would then tell everybody just to get out of here and to go away. Now, Goku's power level in the Super Saiyan state is around 168 million, so he is stronger than his original self. Now, he would absolutely slap Frieza around. He has no chance. Now, Frieza, out of desperation, would still throw a death ball and about to destroy Namek. Goku would still work with King Kai to wish the Namekians back, and then to wish them all to Earth, so that would all go the same. Now, Vegeta was just watching the fight, even though Namek was falling apart, just in shock. And Vegeta would then laugh, and he would then fly off and, give the respect that Kakarot is a Super Saiyan. And he was also wished away as well, so it didn't matter if he stood there. Now, Goku would have beaten Frieza a little bit faster than the original, because he's a little bit stronger. Frieza would have been defeated. And when Goku does fire his blast, it does kill Frieza this time because he's stronger. So Frieza would have been killed fully, and Namek would have still been destroyed. Goku would have gotten off Namek using one of the Ginyu Force space pods with a bit more seconds to spare. I would say with about another 30 seconds to a minute left to spare. He has plenty of time. And he would have been able to get out of there. Well, Goku would have still landed on planet Yardrat, where he would begin his training to control his Super Saiyan power. Now, of course, the Yardrat people were very friendly, and they, of course, welcomed Goku in. I would have also loved to see a story with Goku and the Yardrat people, to where maybe he saved their lives, by, of course, via the fact that they killed Frieza, but also maybe defeating a powerful enemy who tried attacking the Yardrat people. And Goku would then in turn become more powerful because they're teaching him the instant transmission technique. But over a year has now passed. Goku was now heading his way back to Earth. He wasn't worried about Frieza or King Cold because once when King Cold does arrive and he does see, he's not really that surprised, he doesn't really care. And the reason be it is because he even told Frieza himself when Frieza was alive as Mecha Frieza that why are we even going to Earth anyway? You're back alive, take over, you have your empire, you're fine. But of course, Frieza's not going to let that happen. He was too bent on revenge. Well, since Frieza's completely destroyed, King Cold was mad about it, since of course now he has to restart and find a new sun, and of course restart the empire, but he has patience, and then he would then let it go, as he's not a fool. He's not going to go after the Super Saiyan by himself. He's not a fool. And he would then take his leave. Trunks would still arrive from his future timeline. This is the original version of Trunks. And Trunks was confused to see that there's no Frieza or nobody here, but whatever. As he doesn't really see anyone here. Since the only reason why people showed up is because they did sense Frieza. Well, Trunks would still be waiting at the same spot for Goku, and I think people would have then sensed a strange power, that being Goku's heading towards the Earth. When they also got closer, they would then see that it was also Trunks was there as well, but they don't know who he is. Trunks would still interact with Goku, and after a brief little exchange, Goku would then go Super Saiyan, same with Trunks. They would have a little exchange with Goku blocking his sword with his finger, and Trunks can trust him. He would then explain to Goku all about the androids, what they've done, and the fact that Goku couldn't even join the fight because he grew ill due to a heart virus that unfortunately took his life. And Goku was honestly more disappointed that he couldn't have fought the androids himself, but carry on though for Goku. Goku would then be given the heart virus medicine that his mother made in the future, and the date and time when the androids would be arriving. Goku completely understands, and so Trunks would then begin to take his leave, and people had more questions than answers, as they were asking Goku who was that strange man. Now Piccolo knows, so he does spill the beans on some stuff, saying that that man was from the future, and that there will be powerful androids showing up in 3 years' time. And that we all need to get training, and he says that the date, time, and location. Now, of course, he's not going to say some things, such as Vegeta being a father, but Bulma, and of course, who Trunks is. He's keeping that hidden for now. And of course, the heart virus stuff that he kept hidden, as they don't want people to panic with Goku having that. But now, of course, Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan would still train as they did in the original. Now, Goku would become much more powerful here, because mind you, he's still eating a lot of food, he's getting stronger, that's the whole point of the what if, and he's also a little bit stronger than the original as well. This would also make Piccolo and Gohan stronger. When the time does come, when the androids do arrive 3 years later, Goku is a force to be reckoned with. Goku is way stronger than he is in the original. In my opinion, I would say by this point, he's eating a lot of food that Chi-Chi made him, all that. He's at least 2 to 3 times more powerful. This would put him in the Android 16 range. So when he does fight Android 19, he does easily outclass the android and destroy it. But the heart virus will still take effect. So Goku was out of the fight. Vegeta would then go after Dr. Gero, who was able to escape, but barely, and still activate 17 and 18. The 2 androids would then turn on Dr. Gero, and they would then in turn activate Android 16 as well, and kill Dr. Gero. Well, the 3 androids were then walking mindlessly down the street, as Vegeta would still arrive, cocky as ever, to fight Android 18. She would easily overpower Vegeta, breaking his arms and knocking him out of the way. Now, these versions of the androids, they are a little bit stronger than the original, not by a massive amount, since Dr. Gero can only push technology so far, but they are a little bit stronger. Well, when Piccolo does step up, he knows that he needs to go fuse with Kami. They did also get Dende as well, so the Dragon Balls are good. When he fuses with Kami, this version of Piccolo is stronger than the androids, and he's a little bit more comparable to Android 16. And Android 16 was a lot stronger than the other androids. The reason why is because Piccolo has trained with the much stronger version of Goku. So when Piccolo goes to fight Android 17, he was on Demon Time. He was about to kill 17. And I think he would. Now hold on, hear me out. Piccolo is relative to the likes of Android 16, who was well stronger than Cell, first form Cell, and 17 is a lot weaker than Cell and 16. Piccolo would not waste any time. He would overpower 17, and he would then charge up his special beam cannon technique, which increases his power. He would shoot a hole right through 17, and 17 would then sink into the ocean below as he was now killed. Now 18 was ready to attack him before Cell would arrive. Piccolo would then tell the androids to get far away from him, as Cell would still overpower Piccolo because Piccolo is exhausted from his fight. And then Cell would then look around as he couldn't find 17's body. Now, we don't know if the android needs to be alive for Cell to absorb it and get stronger, but when Cell would then grab Piccolo, he then sees the body of 17 under the water. He would then laugh and state, it doesn't matter if he's alive or dead. As long as he's mostly intact, I still get the genetic code, what I need to become more perfect and evolve. And so Cell would still throw Piccolo to the side, and he would still absorb 17, thus becoming semi-perfect Cell. Becoming his second form, Tien would still use his Neo Tri-Beam to hold Cell off. 18 and 16 would then escape, and then the Prince of all Hairlines would finally arrive, as he is now ready to have a rematch, mainly against the androids. But once he finds out that they're gone, he think that Cell would suffice, as he's more confident than ever. And that is it for this What If, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I was going to jump into the Cell arc, but unfortunately for editing wise, I won't have enough time. I'm actually going to be going on vacation for a few days, going to the beach with my family and my love of my life. So I'm going to be a little bit busy, unfortunately, but I did get to the middle part of the Cell arc. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. You guys are the absolute best. Make sure to give this video to 400 likes, and let's get to 50,000 subscribers. The mini goal is 30,000. So come on, subscribe to me. Get us to 30,000. And then the big goal is 50,000. Thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.